Hey there guys, welcome to the Experience Bar. This is Must Play, a series of videos where we take a look at games you might have missed that when they debuted and are absolutely worth playing. This is one of my favorite series. You might have heard me talk about it quite often. This is TimeSplitters, specifically the third one, Future Perfect. This came out in 2005. We're going to go ahead and jump in here. So start player. This came out in 2005 for PlayStation 2 and Xbox and GameCube, actually, as well. So all three I'm going to say that's Generation 5? Generation 6 systems. This is the third game, like I mentioned, in the TimeSplitters series, and this series is developed by UK developer Free Radical Entertainment. While you might not know who those guys are, you do know where they came from. A lot of them worked at Rare during the N64 days and actually helped develop GoldenEye for the N64. So their console shooter pedigree is pretty strong, and then only became stronger with the TimeSplitters series. This game was TimeSplitters 2 is widely considered to be one of the best console shooters of all time, and Future Perfect was actually awarded Shooter of the Year by IGN back in 2005 when this came out. You might have missed this, and a lot of people did, because it came out really at the tail end of the PS2 generation. The Xbox 360 was already out when this game released, and a lot of people were sort of looking forward to the new system, if not necessarily already on board. They were looking to maybe purchase something new, and TimeSplitters got kind of left out in the cold despite being an excellent game. I'm going to jump into story mode here, and we can see some of what this game has to offer. There is a ton of content in this game. I lost my original save long ago, but when this game originally came out, I must have played months worth of time on this game. Literally thousands of hours of this game. I would bring my, I had a slim PS2 at the time, and I would haul it to school. This is back when I was going to a private school, living in Puerto Rico, and I would end up using my entire lunch period to play games. It started with some of the seniors. I was a sophomore at the time. Some of the seniors would bring in a GameCube and play Smash Brothers Melee. And we sort of developed into, well, do we want to play the old Smash Brothers? So we started bringing in a Nintendo 64 to do that. And then when I got this game, I really enjoyed TimeSplitters, so we ended up playing this a lot at lunch, split screen multiplayer. And we ended up turning saving off because it saved time after multiplayer matches when you could just jump straight into another game. Instead of waiting for the game to save everybody's data to the memory card for all four players. So ended up being probably more time than I actually had on that save file of time played.
The year is 2401. Humankind finds itself locked in a mortal struggle with the TimeSplitters, an evil race of creatures bent on the destruction of the entire human race. Using the power of the time crystals, they travel through our history, pushing humanity to the very brink of extinction. With resistance weakening, our last hope lies with a small ship speeding towards Earth. On board are 9 stolen time crystals, intended to power the time machine constructed by Earth's finest scientists. The plan? To travel back in time, find the source of the time crystals, and destroy them all.
So this is really the first kind of TimeSplitters game with a story. TimeSplitters 2 did have a story, and the story mode, did have some cutscenes and stuff like that, but it was a much more vague, like, you're going back in time, and then you take on the appearance of these people, and you solve these objectives. Actually, TimeSplitters 2 very much feels like GoldenEye in terms of both gameplay and sort of how the story mode works. If you raise the difficulty, there are multiple objectives, things like that. With Future Perfect, they tried to make more of an engaging cinematic story. There's lots of cutscenes. The characters are more fleshed out and certifiably goofy. I mean, one of the big things about this series is it doesn't take itself seriously at all. Well, as I say, something serious happens in the story. No, but I mean, the overall tone of these games is very humorous, and while they do play it straight sometimes for this story, because they want to make a compelling story, the humor is always there. They're constantly making jokes, and there's definitely some parts of this game where I was laughing out loud pretty hard. There's a good joke coming up here.
I think we found it. Hey, there's Sergeant Cortez, and he's alive.
One of these guys says, "Where's Corporal Hart?" who is the main protagonist in the second game. And she gets killed in the second. Spoilers for 2002. Sorry about that.
We've got to get you back to base. Whatever
she gets
you
killed
did really stirred up the
at the end of that
splitters.
game. So
we need all the firepower
anyway,
we can muster. Take this
we'll
weapon,
run through
Sarge.
here
Come
a
on,
bit,
this
but
way.
man, I gotta remember what the controls are for this game. Okay.
We found Sergeant Cortez, and he's alive and well,
Load.
returning to base.
A little bit different control scheme than the Call of Duty / Halo controls that have been sort of popularized in the years since.
Okay, let's move.
One of the other cool things about this series was always the weapon design. It never got to Ratchet and Clank levels of ridiculousness, but pretty much every weapon in this game has a alternate fire mode. So in the case of this pistol here, if I hit up on the D-pad, it changes to ricochet mode, and my shots will actually bounce off of walls, as opposed to just dead ending if they hit something, which is kind of cool. If you're in a room full of dudes, you'll go through people and then hit more guys.
Let's go, Sarge. Come
But
on.
in this first level, it's not super.
Let's go, Marines.
It's not
Over
super
here.
imperative that you do that.
There's too many. I need help.
So anyway, they set up this game
How many of these hooded
in
guys are there?
what I guess would be called present day for Sergeant Cortez here. He's coming back from TimeSplitters 2 with some of the time crystals to power the time machine, and we're eventually going to go back in time to previous eras where we have to. We're trying to find the source of the time crystals so we can destroy them and keep the time splitters, who are the main bad guys in this game, from ever occurring. I actually haven't encountered any time splitters. These guys here are not explained at this point in the game. There's something else. Whoa! Mothership crashing there. So
Cortez, you're back.
let's see.
Over here, quick.
Those sniper
Cortez,
missions.
we're
That
pinned down
guy's
here. We can't get
voice
through.
changed between the first and the second dialogue.
Miller.
It was real weird.
Lost Miller.
Okay, so well,
Take this sniper rifle and clear out the enemy.
shoot that. There you go. Okay, I think we should see some time splitters up here. So
Great
these
shot,
time
Cortez.
splitters are like kind of freaky beast-looking
The base is
things.
just up ahead. Come on.
They have the ability to cloak.
Get moving. We're gonna hold
Really,
this
there's a lot of Predator references in these movies, or in these
Splitter.
games.
You okay,
Because
Sarge?
the time splitters are very much like Predators. But yeah, they're the bane of humanity, and you've been fighting them
Good
for 3
shooting,
games now.
soldier.
So the
Now let's
idea here was to go back in time and prevent them from even being a threat in the first place. So, you know, like I said, I played a lot of this game from the multiplayer. I played every bit of the single player as well.
Sergeant
The
Cortez,
story
your timing
is
couldn't be better. Come on, follow
pretty
me.
good in these games, in this game specifically. It's not gonna blow you away, but it's a fun run. Like if you're looking for something to play through with a friend, this is a great choice, especially if you've got like a PS2 or Xbox lying around. You know, despite the Xbox version having better looking graphics and you know, back in the day, in the case of online, more robust online play because of Xbox Live, I would still probably recommend. I would still probably recommend the PS2 version just because the controls are a little bit better on this version. Not having bumpers makes the controls kind of wonky on the original Xbox. but it is it's still worth playing on any system you have if you get the chance.
Another one on the cliff.
Like I said, the original Xbox is going to be the most graphically impressive. And one of the really cool things was, even on the PS2, this game featured online play, and I only got to play it a handful of times before they actually shut down the service on PS2. But it played just like your regular multiplayer online. And I guarantee you, if it was still online today, I would definitely hook up my PS2 every once in a while just to play TimeSplitters, because man, did I play a lot of this game.
Reinforcements are here. Hold your fire.
It got to the point
Cortez,
where
hold
my
your
friends
fire.
I would have to play with auto
Great
aim
work,
off
Cortez.
and all kinds of
General's waiting,
handicaps
Sarge.
because my friends would not play with me
Make a run for the
because
base.
I played way
We're
too much of this
trying
game.
to buy you some
But
They're coming over the cliff. Let's go,
you know, the
Sarge, come on.
series is real good. So yeah, at
the line.
doing various things, but specifically the shooting has always been really great in this series for a console shooter specifically. Future Perfect adds some layers to that. Oh, jeez. Adds some layers to that. It adds a story campaign with an actual story. It adds some I guess more polish. TimeSplitters 2 is harder to go back to. Part of why I chose Future Perfect for this must play was that it probably holds up the best in retrospect. It feels more like a modern shooter, whereas, as I mentioned, the TimeSplitters 2's roots of GoldenEye are very much. I'm gonna throw some plasma grenades because I have them. And why not?
Good to have you back, Sarge.
TimeSplitters 2's GoldenEye roots are very apparent, and if you've played GoldenEye at all recently, that does not hold up at all. I'm gonna be quiet again here because we've got some more cutscene going on, but I'll let you see a little bit of the second level so you can get an idea of what I'm talking about with the continuing sort of going back in time. As I mentioned before, this game is great to play co-op with a friend.
General.
Cortez, you made it.
All the levels are designed
here.
with co-op in mind, so
Let's get
basically
them to
every
lab.
one you're going to have a second character with you for the majority of the time. Sometimes they split off, but for the most part they are there with you throughout each level,
And what do you hoping to
which was a
find
cool
there?
design choice. When you play
Anything
single
that will
player,
lead us
they're
to the
filled by
source.
AI,
I know it's not much to
which is
go
actually
on, but
pretty
it's
decent
all
AI.
we've got.
It's can't die, you don't have to babysit them, but in the co-op, it gives you, two characters there all the time, and then, the cutscenes
General.
make sense with two
Cortez,
people there.
meet Anya,
It's really
Chief
well done.
Science officer.
Is that them?
So Cortez is popping the lid on these time crystals.
Bring them over to the machine and let's get them plugged in. Now I've located energy
This is
residue
Anya.
in numerous
She
places,
is
but the
your
highest
tech advisor
concentration is
during
right here.
current
That's
time.
in the
Man,
ocean.
look at that
It
texture.
is now.
In
There used to be an
the
island there. It was destroyed during a
in the-
battle in 1924.
But when were the crystals used?
okay, I'm
That
just
we
gonna skip
don't
this
know.
because
Calculating the
I only
location
have so
of
much
the
time to
energy
show you
box
this
is
game, and you get the idea. We're going back to 1924. This island is about to be destroyed. This is World War I, and it's going to get real interesting. One of the other things that's cool about this, so as I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of cool weapon designs in these games. They change depending on the time period you're in. So I'm going to go World War I here. I'm going to have World War I level weapons. So you're not going to be getting, laser rifles like I saw in the first level in 1924. And it adds some variety and dynamic to the gameplay here. I have to say, all the second player characters in these games are fantastic. Captain Ash and Harry Tipper being highlights here, but especially in this game where they give them a lot more characterization than they did in TimeSplitters 2 or 1 in some cases.
Any chance of a hand?
They're absolutely fantastic. It absolutely makes this campaign worth playing. In addition to all the bevy of stuff
I'm
you get
supposed to be on
in the
that
rest of the
island.
game that
Are
I'll get
you
into
sure,
in a little bit
Queen?
here.
This whole
So-
area is about to be bombed to Kingdom Come.
By who?
Well, by the Navy, of course.
Yes, it's the Navy. So, anyway, in that cutscene, Cortez messes up, and they start the assault on this island that's going to be blown out of the water. So you'll see here I have a Kruger 9mm. They don't have any real weapons in this game, really. They all have kind of knockoff weapons. But the cool thing is, but yeah, you're not going to get like any modern sniper rifle
Behind you all the way.
You do this.
in this level, just
Hold
because.
this position.
On the hill, old boy.
Come on.
They've got the high ground and
Whoa.
good cover, old boy. The finest traditions of the British Army, I
So,
suggest the bold
so you get an idea for the campaign here. I'm going to jump out of here and show you some of the other stuff in this game. But the amount of content in this game is pretty staggering. It's, you know, it was I bought this at full price when it came out, and it was unquestionably worth the $50 I paid for it. I would still say it's worth $50 today. This is one of the best games that I can remember, and it is so good. Okay, so in addition to story mode, you've got full arcade mode, which constitutes arcade and league. Arcade is just regular multiplayer, and then the league mode specifically is challenges based on multiplayer. So One Gun Fun is you're playing against AI in these, but it's big game hunt. So you're fighting an entire tier of Demon Haunters with a sniper rifle. Rockets 101 is everybody's got rocket launchers, and you have to achieve a certain number of kills. So in this case, the gold was first and 18 kills. I got 22 kills in first, so I got a platinum trophy actually on this one. But you jump in and you fight. Here, I'll show you a big game hunt real quick. So you play as one of the multiplayer characters, which actually this game has 150 different multiplayer characters. At this point I don't have nearly I probably have a third of them unlocked because I haven't gone through the campaign at all, and I haven't played a bunch of the league stuff. But basically every character that appears, a character model that appears in game, either in the challenges or multiplayer or single player, is available as a
Execution.
Is available as multiplayer character. So right now I'm playing against the Deer Haunters, which is a whole team of this one character.
Killing spree.
And I think I forget what the challenge. Let's see what it was here. 35 kills for gold. So I gotta kill 35 of these guys in 3 minutes.
Surgery. Skullbuster.
Which does get tricky. Usually the problem I end up on this is I run out of ammo before I can kill enough of these guys. The Deer Hunter is relatively easy to kill because he has a huge noggin. So this challenge is, again, in the amateur league. It's very... Oh, there we go. I ran out of ammo. I'm going to go stand over here because of this. So yeah, if you run out of ammo, you can still punch people. So this is the Siberian multiplayer map. This is probably one of my favorite maps in the game because it's so big and you get a lot of space to goof around in. There's also a vehicle in this map, but it's kind of suicide to use the vehicle because there's no way to shoot people when you're in the vehicle. It's kind of dumb. You can only really run people over, and it's a lot easier to dodge the vehicle and shoot at the person in the vehicle than it is to use the vehicle. So it's not super viable, but this is one of the more creative maps in the game. When it... Oop. I'm gonna die here in a sec. This is one of the more creative maps in the game, and one I ended up playing a lot when I played multiplayer with my buddies. But so yeah, so you have these challenges in the league matches, which are just basically set up multiplayer matches with a specific objective. And then you also have the challenges, which is separate from the league matches, which I can show you here. These are a little more tailored. They take places from either the multiplayer levels or the single player levels, and they give you a specific objective, but they're a little more scripted. So if I go here to back all the way out, challenge mode, and these are usually they're sort of tailored. So like this one, this is cat driving. It literally says cat driving. It literally is cat driving. You have to drive this cat around race courses. Behead the Dead is just their zombie levels you have to survive. Shoot out, cut out, shoot out, shoot cutouts. It's target practice basically on a moving thing. TimeSplitters Story Classic. These are basically remakes of the original TimeSplitters where there were not really any story, which is probably why story's in quotes, but you just run through a level with some objectives. Monkeying around is, I think, monkey... Oh, you know what? You have to charge up these monkeys on the dance floor. These are all monkey-based objectives. These guys like monkeys. There you go. Monkey curling. They have monkey curling in this game. So, yeah, you've got the challenge mode. You've got the arcade mode. You've got a map maker where you can create not only multiplayer maps, so you can make Stack from GoldenEye if you're really into it, or the Facility if you really want to. You can make single player maps or challenge mode maps where you run through objectives. Assault mode, I used to do those. It's really robust. You've got full network mode, which online no longer works, but LAN game gives me hope because I'm going to get more copies of this game. That is happening. You can play up to, if I remember, 16 players online was back in the day. So I'm going to definitely get that going with split screen LAN. But again, if you jump into arcade, you've got a fully featured multiplayer suite. You've got deathmatch, team deathmatch, capture the bag, bag tag, which is like oddball basically, elimination, which is a certain number of lives, shrink. Person in first is the biggest. Person in last is the smallest, with varying degrees in between, so it's harder to hit them. As you get better, you get bigger. You're an easier target. Vampire's pretty cool. You have to kill people to extend your lifespan, so if you don't kill anybody within a certain time, you die. Thief, which is a lot like Kill Confirmed in the new Call of Duty games, where when somebody dies, they drop a coin. It's coins that wins, not kills. Virus. Basically, this is like zombie mode. Somebody starts as the virus carrier. They're engulfed in green flame. If they touch you, you're infected. The last person standing is winning. Zones, which is zone control. Assault, that's more of a head-on. That's a limited number of maps. But like I said, you can make those in the map maker. Gladiator, which is like Juggernaut. And Monkey Assistant, which is the person in last place gets a team of monkeys that just kill people for them and add to their score. There are the amount of options in this is ridiculous. So I jumped into Deathmatch. You've got a whole ton of levels, and unlike the previous TimeSplitters games, they're all unlocked from the start. So if I want to play disco, I can play disco, and then it gives you even more control over this. You can set the score limit, how you want scoring to be, kills minus losses or suicides, one-shot kills, time limit on the match. Do you want to start with guns, or do you just want people to find them on the map? Do you want the radar on, handicaps on, off, character abilities on, off? The different characters have different stats, so if you're playing with AI and you have character abilities on, the monkey is small and will run faster, or other things like that. Do you want power-ups on? Do you want the announcer on? Here's my hint right now. You always want the announcer on. And what music do you want? And it's not just music from this game. It's music from previous TimeSplitters games. You have, like, the amount of, like, just customization you have in this game is absolute. It's got campaign music. It's got multiplayer music. It's just absolutely insane. Weapon set recommended. You can make custom weapon sets for each level if you want to play with certain types of weapons. You can make custom bot sets. So if you want specific bots, usually they're tailored to a level, but if you don't want those bots, you can non-player characters, you can have those, or if you don't want bots at all, you can turn them off. If you're playing with your friends, I'm going to play with bots because I'm the only one playing in this game. Oh, right, there's 150 player characters, like I said, most of which you unlock during the campaign. So you've seen Cortez and Captain Ash and Harry Tipper, but you get tons more. I'm going to scroll down here. There's the deer hunter back there. You've got monkeys. You've got 4 kinds of monkeys in this game. I don't think I have zombie monkey unlocked. So you got monkey, cyborg chimp, ninja monkey, and zombie monkey. You've got TimeSplitters 2 characters that show up in collectible cases, because why not? They're a TimeSplitters 2 posable action figure. You've got a gingerbread man and a duck. I'm going to play as a duck. I'm going to kill people as a duck. This game is ridiculous. I'm about to kill people in a disco as a giant duck. Interested now? I thought so. Yeah, this game is, like I said, one of my favorite games of all time. I'm getting super into this right now. The amount of content in this game is staggering. The amount of customization in this game is staggering. The amount of... Well, I just died. You know, the amount of care that went into making this game is... I gotta stop saying staggering, but this is a really good game, and it is... Still holds up totally. Okay, I got a rocket launcher. Come on. There we go. No? Not good. Okay. It's stealing my kills. There's a speed pickup. I feel like this is not fast enough. One of the major changes they made for TimeSplitters 2 is the player movement speed has been drastically reduced. It's still much faster than you expect from a lot of shooters now, at the time, especially like Halo and things like that. This is probably on par with a modern Call of Duty or something like that, but it is definitely... Oh, come on, that can kill you. Yeah, that never worked great in this game. It's probably on par with like a Call of Duty nowadays, but at the time, like TimeSplitters 2 in comparison, like just feels like you're on speed. It's ridiculously fast. But you know, this is still fun. I've got a bet. There are busty female characters, because why not? I think I am gonna win here if I can kill. Oh no, it's not me. I'm not even close. I'm in second. Okay, well, I'm close, but one of the AI is probably gonna win. Yep. Second, so I can't even beat the AI in this game, but... And you get little awards here. You get Most Frantic Brain Surgeon AC-10 Award. I have no idea what AC-10 Award is. I know Brain Surgeon is a lot of headshots. Most Frantic means I'm constantly running all over the place. Most Killed Cortez, like just just like raw data that they collect for these games is ridiculous, and then you can just, if you want to, rematch right away and say, I want to just the rematch right now, and you can do that. I mean, these games were so good, and it's a real shame. So for those of you who aren't aware of the Free Radical story, this is the last great game they put out. They went on in 2007 to release Haze, which was a critical and financial failure. They filed for administration in 2009 and were bought by Crytek. They then became Crytek UK, and they were working on a TimeSplitters 4, but after being purchased by Crytek, it was officially put on hold. Crytek more recently ran into some money problems and sold them. They were working on the new Homefront game, and Crytek sold Homefront to Deep Silver, the publisher, and Crytek UK was disbanded. A lot of those people who were at Crytek UK at the time left and actually ended up working for the new studio that Deep Silver founded there, so they're probably still working on Homefront. But at this point, a lot of the original TimeSplitters people have probably left that Free Radical when they were bought originally, filed for administration. So There is some slight hope we could get a new TimeSplitters. There is a modding group that was working on a new TimeSplitters with Crytek permission and with some oversight from Crytek UK, but unfortunately yes, got it. The odds of us getting that game anytime soon or it being released in any commercial manner are probably pretty low. It's basically a PC TimeSplitters game that's going to be like an HD remix, I guess. I forget what they're calling it. TimeSplitters Rewind. But the odds of us getting a new TimeSplitters, considering that Crytek owns the IP and they're not doing so well themselves, is pretty low, and it's real unfortunate. But this game still holds up, so if you want your TimeSplitters fix, you're absolutely able to go check this game out. You can probably pick this up. The prices on this game got down sub $10 at one point, but I think they're creeping back up now because people recognize how good these games are and want to hold on to them. But it's absolutely a must play. You've got so much stuff here to do, and it's so well done, and it's hilarious and goofy, and it's really well made. I mean, look at these modes. They had such creativity, like Shrink. Nobody's ever done something like that. They had Thief, which was co-opted by Call of Duty later. I mean, they were really good with making a shooter. Like this is one of the best console shooters ever. Period. And it's a real shame. Let's see what my progress on this is. Player progress. There we go. I've completed 1 out of 13 levels on normal. I've completed. They track your co-op progress too. How many challenges? How many leagues? I've played for 1 hour, 34 minutes, and 8 seconds on this. I've traveled 22. It's ridiculous. My favorite character is the duck. I've never played as the monkey. These games are fantastic, and TimeSplitters Future Perfect is absolutely a must play. So if you have a chance, check it out. Unfortunately, there's no way to buy this digitally. It's never been released on like a PSN store or something like that. But copies are out there. And if you missed it the first time, it's absolutely worth going back to check out. So thanks for joining me. This has been another edition of Must Play. Hopefully you liked it. Check us out here on theexperiencebar.com. If this is your first time here, go look at some of our other content. And come back next week for another Must Play. I got some good stuff lined up. We will be checking out. Well, I don't want to spoil anything in case plans go awry, but we do these every Friday, and we really hope you join us for that. So thanks for watching. This is Sean from the Experience Bar, and we'll see you next time here on Must Play.